this poor Air Force guy came over to give us the bad news that our plane was broken and that we're not going to take off any time soon.
Flying Southwest Airlines out of San Antonio, Texas, I had a brief layover in Denver, Colorado, before crossing the Rocky Mountains and heading to California and landing at Sacramento International Airport.
Well, the first thing you have to decide when you fly into Sacramento International Airport is to figure out how are you going to get to Travis. I decided to take a rental car from the airport here in Sacramento out to Travis. The first stop after leaving the terminal is going to be right behind me at the rental car pickup location. Like most airports, all of the major oil companies have a shuttle that leaves the baggage claim and comes here.
The C-141B Starlifter. In 1991, when I went to airborne school, this was my favorite aircraft to jump out of. Years later, this aircraft would take me into a hostile fire zone. That flight was a 22-hour, non-stop flight, complete with multiple mid-air refuels. Until this day, I have never been on a longer non-stop flight. And then there is this door, the business end of this aircraft, if you are a U.S. Army paratrooper. Once I arrived at Travis Air Force Base in California, I had 4 potential options to get me to Korea. The best option was the Blue Route, which was a route that took me straight to Korea, but usually with a layover in Hawaii. The Northern Route had me going to Alaska with a follow-on flight to Korea. The Middle Route had me going to Japan with a follow-on flight to Korea. And the Southern Route had me going to Hawaii with a follow-on flight to Korea. Now the good news is that all of these follow-on flights to Korea would be on military aircraft. One of the negative sides of going to Japan, though, meant that there was a high probability that I would have to catch a commercial flight out of Tokyo. That would mean a layover in Shanghai, China. Not something that I wanted to do.
There's 73 tentative seats right now on Fred. That's departing here, going to Hawaii, and then landing at Osan. The good news is that it's a flight that goes directly into Osan. The bad news is that I'm flying Fred. And to further complicate it, we're going to be touching down in Hawaii. When we landed yesterday, the loadmaster of the aircraft said, "Man, the pilot owes me a beer for this hard landing." We're going to be touching down in Hawaii on the weekend, which means that the Air Force crew could mysteriously develop issues with the aircraft that may require maintenance. That could mean delays in Hawaii. It won't be the first time this has happened. So today is day 4 of my Space Day adventure to Korea. I left Texas on Tuesday. Today is Friday morning. So it is about 5:59 a.m. here in California. So what's going on today? Today, when I look at the schedule, there are 2 opportunities to get out. So I'm flying on something today. I just don't know where I'm going. I'm either going to Japan or I'm going to Osan, Korea via Hawaii. So initially, the flight going to Osan that slipped off of the schedule was departing on Wednesday. And it was going to go from here in California to Alaska, then to Japan, and then into Osan, Korea. That flight fell off the schedule. So today's flight goes from here in California to Hawaii, and there's a layover in Hawaii, and then we take off tomorrow morning, which is Saturday, and fly into Korea. So we'll get there sometime on Saturday. Hopefully the plane, Fred, doesn't break down in Hawaii. And again, it's kind of known that Fred breaks down in Hawaii. What a good place to break down, Fred. So the ups and downs of taking Space A. The up, hey, I'm here in Hawaii. The down, plane's broke right now.
This poor Air Force guy came over to give us the bad news that our plane was broken and that we're not going to take off any time soon.
If you have a question about Space Age travel, leave your question in the comments section below, and I'll address it in a future video. Thank you for watching.